You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live. And I'm broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. We're brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency, and Extreme Exteriors. You can count on Extreme Exteriors for expert installation of exterior siding, roofing, soffits, fascia, decks, windows, and more. With their knowledge and experience, they can design the perfect solution to make your home beautiful and energy efficient, saving you maintenance and money for years to come. Call them at 763-441-1334 and tell them that Gene sent you. It's time now to hear from the Community Associations Institute. The CAI Minute is brought to you by New Concepts Rental Management. Whether you're an accidental landlord or a seasoned investor, New Concepts Rental Management can help you achieve your financial goals. New Concepts Rental Management can advise and guide you through every aspect of the business. Give us a call, our number 952-922-2500.
Are you a member of the Community Associations Institute? For nearly 40 years, CAI has provided education and resources to volunteer homeowners who govern community associations and the professionals who support them. Visit caionline.org to learn more. That address again is caionline.org. CAI helps community association board members by providing online resources, in-person training, and hard copy publications written by association management experts. CAI offers community managers professional development, networking opportunities, and a certification program that's established as the industry standard nationwide. Minnesota has its own chapter of the Community Associations Institute to bring resources and tools from community associations around the country right to your home. Visit CAIMN.com to learn more and become a member of CAI today. Your community and management company will benefit from your involvement. Join the Community Associations Institute today at CAIMN.com and click on Membership.
Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking about a story out of the Miami Herald about a week or so ago. It's entitled Pet Owners in a Condo Association Are in a Dogfight, or rather they're fighting with non-owners of pets over the right to be able to have a dog. And we're not talking about because the governing documents have allowed it and there's a big push. Quite the contrary. It is the exact opposite is what's taking place. People have purchased a home in a condominium association specifically because it states no pets are allowed. Now, instead of people understanding that, because when you are dealing with a homeowner association, you're dealing with the idea that you're entering into a contractual agreement with all the other owners that you are sharing walls with in this same community, in this same association, the same building, and you have the same ideas and and so you are okay with things because you have the same ideals. But that's not taking place anymore because people are asserting, I have a right. And they're asserting, I've got a right, more than thinking about their responsibility to others. Question I asked last segment was, what do you do when you have competing rights? Which right should triumph the other? We talked about the case of this gentleman, Steve Vincent. He had a kidney transplant. He was told by his doctor, you need to stay away from pets because he said the fur, the dander that you get off of pets could be very medically imperative to your health and well-being. And so please don't do that. Well, he bought into a condo association because of no pets. Well, now there are a number of pets, and he's having issues. What do you do in those cases? And I'm saying that a lot of people were saying, well, why is there this insurgence of pets? Well, we were told in this news article by the Miami Herald, the reason why is because people are now stating, well, I need this pet because it is an emotional support animal. And, there are websites. I'm not kidding you. There are websites that are dedicating themselves to freely give information and to sell some items that would be very helpful to people who want to be able to push this notion that they have a right for an emotional support animal. Okay? One such site is called freemypaws.com. Okay? They are quick to say, well, we're not an attorney, so we're not giving you quote unquote legal advice. However, they seem to surely be able to guide every people through the entire process. Not to mention that before you leave the site, they seem to get a lot of people buying a lot of items that they have, such as special support, emotional support animal vests to make your dog look a little bit more official, I guess, in this whole process. And it's a very interesting thing to go on this site. If you read it, and again, it's called freemypaws.com. On there, they state very clearly at the very beginning here, they say, the Americans with Disabilities Act prohibits privately owned businesses that serve the public from discriminating. Well, we know that. You privately owned business, just because it's privately owned, still does not have a right to discriminate. However, the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, have been broadening and continuing to broaden that net of what is considered a disability, bringing a lot more definitions in on what a person is allowed with being able to have an emotional support animal. They are quick to say that the ADA says that businesses and customers with disabilities are allowed to bring service animals into whatever areas they want to go into. This includes hotels and motels, movie theaters, concert halls, commercial airlines, public buildings and parks, taxi cabs, restaurants. Even though, again, now we've got a competing ordinance. If a person who owned the restaurant said, I want to bring in a dog, you would find that the city would say there are ordinances that don't allow animals in a restaurant because it's unhealthy and unsafe and unclean. But now you've got the other side of the coin, someone who says, I need this animal for my emotional support. And so now you've got the ADA saying, well, you ought to be allowed. We covered a story about a month or so ago on this show that talked about the competing trial and lawsuit that ensued because of someone who brought an animal in saying they needed it for their emotional support in a restaurant, the restaurant telling them you can't do it. And so they asked the person to leave, and they were being sued for discriminating. When they allowed that person the ability to have their animal in, all of a sudden someone else who said, I need to be in an animal-free place, I have a right to that, and be able to be in this restaurant. And now that person was suing the restaurateur. And again, here's a businessman who all he wanted to do is to do what he loves, and that's to cook for people and to be able to provide a service. But no matter which way he turns, either way, he's getting in trouble with the ADA. And what do you do when you have those competing rights? That's what we're talking about. That's what we have here with a homeowners association. And you have the case of this Steve Vincent who said, medically, I can't have a pet. And so I chose this association because it said no pets are allowed. And the question I wanted to ask is, why can't those who want pets be the same thoughtful person as Steve Vincent was before they purchased? You know, my wife and I enjoy pets. we have a dog. But when we made a decision to move into a homeowners association, one of the first things we thought through was reading the governing documents to decide whether or not we are allowed a pet, not trying to just horn in with this idea, I've got this right, and try to finagle with the idea, well, we need this emotional support. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to survive. Well, if that's real important, why not think about that before you purchase? We did. There are a number of places where are very nice places we would have loved to have been in and had a great time. We loved the views. We loved the people, but no pets were allowed. So why not understand that and go somewhere else? That's the idea that we're talking about here. We're going to explore that a little bit more, but it looks like by the look on the clock here, we need to take another break. So let's do it. Don't go away, though. You're listening to Where You Live on AM 1280, The Patriot. Back after this.